Welcome back, everybody. My name is Taylor Martin. This is the Best Damn EDC, and today I have another EDC Weekly for you. In the last EDC Weekly, which was a budget video, I said that I was going to give away this right here to a random commenter. This is a blackout carry with a Victorinox Tinker, a steel wheel Shaula, a Gerber Shard, Polka Pin, Lumen Top Tool AAA, and a KeySmart Minimalist Wallet. Total blackout carry. So I used a tool to randomly pick a winner. And just side note really quickly, there were almost 2,000 comments on that video, which is amazing. Thank you guys so much. But I did select a winner. Luis Perez with this comment right here is the winner. I will be in touch, Luis, and you will get all of this stuff in the mail. You'll also get a sticker pack. But to keep things going, these all went out. I have the Mighty Hank right here. This is my custom Mighty Hank. These sold out very, very quickly, and all of them have been shipped out. If you purchase one, it's been shipped. So I got a ton of emails asking, where's my Hank? It was a pre-order, but they're all shipped now, so don't worry. But with that said, I want to keep the giveaways going, so I'm going to give away one of the spare Mighty Hanks that I do have. So if you want to know how to enter to win this Mighty Hank, just watch the video, and at some point I will tell you how to enter. Next up on the agenda, and the last announcement I have for you guys, these right here, I've talked about them a little bit. This is my wallet, or really, let's try that again. This right here is a wallet I've talked about, the Carry Commission exclusive Redeemed Creation Slim Wallet. So we have OD green thread, English tan leather with a Carry Commission stamp there, Redeemed Creation stamp right there. These are only available on Carry Commission, and I am so excited for these to finally be a thing. So if you want to know when that wallet drops, just follow Carry Commission over on Instagram. Follow Best Damn EDC while you're at it, but it will happen next week. And I just wanted to let you guys know that they are coming very soon. And there are only 20 of them right now, but there will be more, I promise. And the turnaround's pretty quick. Jonathan is amazing over at Redeemed Creations. So hats off to him. Thank you for doing this, Jonathan, and I hope you guys enjoy these wallets. But with that said, this is the EDC Weekly. I asked for professions. By far, that was the most commonly commented recommendation for what I should do with the EDC Weekly. Professions, talk about professions, and this one wasn't a specific profession. It wasn't, EMT or first responders or policemen or whatever. We'll get to that eventually, but this one is just about professions and telling me what you do with your carry and how it makes your job easier. Whew. So with all of that said, let's do the damn thing. In the glass today, I have High West Campfire. It is right over here on the barrel. I love this stuff. It's a mixture of rye whiskey, scotch, and bourbon, and I love it. Some people hate it. I really, really think they've blended this very, very nicely. Also, the watch. This is not a watch, this is a knife. The knife in my pocket today is the Civivi Elementum S35VN. The reason is because I have started carrying budget knives for the $100 knife video. All of those knives, the ones you selected, the ones that Zach from Blade HQ, the one that Jeremy has selected, and the ones that I picked are all on their way to me if they have not already arrived. So that video will happen very, very soon. But I've started the work behind the video, carrying each knife and getting to know each one, ups and downs. But on my wrist today is a watch that I've not worn a lot in a long time, but I really do like this thing, and I put it on the wrist earlier this week, and I really forgot how much I like it. This is the Laurier Gemini Panda little hand wind chronograph. It's really, really sweet watch. All right, enough about me and announcements. Let's get into the carries. The very first one actually comes from an OG. This comes from Danny, where you can find him over on Instagram or in the Discord server as S13Danny704. It's just really cool to see him stick around for so long. And above all else, stick to the copper carry. I know that about Danny. He's always had this just hardcore copper carry. So first up in this picture, in the very back, you may not see it, it's actually behind the knife, is a Hitch and Timber short fold, and there's also a Grimm's Survival card, Fowler edition, with the little fish hooks and weights and stuff. That's inside his wallet. He also has the knife here, pictured in front of that, is a Civivi Elementum, and I do believe that is a Frankenstein Elementum because it has a Damascus blade with copper handle. So he's done some mix and match in there. He also has a key bar in copper attached to some magnuts for quick release. Also attached to a magnet is a Civivi multi-tool hook and a Zero Feud Brickman in copper. The watch you see in this photo is a Casio 217H with a DIY negative display. There's also an Olay S2R Baton 2 in copper, a Hinderer Investigator, which is the pin, and then in the very back, if you look close enough, there is a Glock 19. First and foremost, Danny says, bring back Mini Mod Monday. Some of you may remember that a long time ago, I had a series that was Mini Mod Monday, and every single Monday, without fail, I would do a mini mod or a small DIY project where I would take existing materials, just scrap leather or whatever, and make something from it. And there was a lot of DIY, like EDC gear projects. maybe I'll do it again. Maybe I will bring it back. Maybe I will. Probably not every single Monday because things have changed, but maybe it'll come back. Danny says, I'm a mechanic by choice, but I'm forced to be nice to people. I use my knife for opening parts and breaking down boxes, remove the fake patina so it could be earned, and swap to the Damascus blade for aesthetics. The pen for signing state inspection and working up quotes. Oh, so much fun paperwork. The key bar helps me from sounding like a janitor. The copper hook is used for opening doors and not touching keypads. I wear the Casio for fun. It's one of my first modded watches. And then finally, the O-Light is used for lighting under vehicles and under hoods. Keep up the great work. Love the podcast. And also, stop talking shit about The Mandalorian. It's my jam. I won't do it, man. I appreciate you, but I won't do it. I did not like The Mandalorian. 6 out of 8 episodes of the first season I didn't like. I haven't watched the other 2 yet. It's not my jam, man. It's cool. I think it has potential. I think they need to reel back some of the callbacks and references and the fan service and just make it a cool show that can stand on its own. Just my 2 cents. Anyway, awesome carry, tons and tons of copper here, and I can smell this carry from here.
I almost forgot to tell you how to enter to win the top of Mighty Hank. It's very simple. All you have to do is comment down below and tell me what other drops you want to see me do on carry commission. What have I not done that you want to see that you would buy over on carry commission? That's it. Just comment it down below and you're entered to win.
Next up, we have a submission from Mark, who you might know better as Patina EDC over on Instagram and in the Discord server. And this photo I actually shared over on Instagram earlier this week. The photo just jumped out at me because it's badass. It's kind of like an action shot, sort of, and it shows how he carries his EDC. The only thing is here, there's no watch, no wallet. I'm sure there's more to the EDC, but it was a cool photo, and he does go into depth about what he does for a living. So first up, we have in the center of the photo, the holder that he has there is a Tale of Knives Slim Trio Plus clip, same one I carry. He has an Olay i3T EOS in copper inside there, as well as a Leatherman Skeletool CX. That's the multi-tool that he's grabbing in the photo. Next to that is the pen that is a Pete's Pirate Life Big Idea Design Pocket Pro in, it looks like brass, but maybe it's copper. And then finally, in his pocket is a Chris Reeve Umnumzon in a Tanto blade. Mark says, I need to stop spending. Luckily, I'm part of an EDC AA group. Is that the Discord? Because that's probably not a good way to stop spending money. Those people are the worst enablers. Mark says, I'm a music teacher and a musician/sound technician. The latter has been slow these days due to the whole pandemic thing going on. I always carry a Leatherman due to the fact that I change guitar strings quite frequently on the job. I use the drivers to open up and fix the guitar pedals and other gadgets. The light comes in handy when working the stage, either as a musician or a technician. It's always dimly lit and sometimes it's hard to see what you're doing. The pen is also a must, both as a teacher and in the musician life, be it writing up lecture notes or jotting down ideas for new music. The dedicated blade does most of the heavy lifting during the day, be it breaking down boxes, opening mail, cooking, etc. I also enjoy the outdoors, and a solid knife is just a no-brainer to keep in my pockets. As every other person, I also have my phone, keys, wallet, so pockets tend to get full. Therefore, I always rock most of my tools in a Tale of Knives holster. Tried my first one 1.5 years ago, and I've never looked back. I went a long time without one of these, and frankly, I don't know why. They're just smart. I have been using one for weeks now, and I don't know why I ever stopped. It's just nice to have, like, I put a slip joint, a big slip joint in mine, but yeah, a small multi-tool, why not? It's great to have one of those on hand. Anyway, thank you for sharing, Mark, and keep taking these awesome photos. Next up, we have a submission from Jonathan, or Up in the Sky Canada. And at first I didn't realize it, but if you look closely in this photo, there's actually a helmet, and that's actually a flight helmet because Jonathan is a helicopter pilot, which is probably the most unique job that I've seen listed in the long list of submissions I got in just the last few days. Really cool, so I had to choose this one. Anyway, first up in the center of the photo is a Medford Praetorian Genesis T, and then below that is a MechForce Mech Torch. The watch up above that is the Citizen Nighthawk Pilot Watch, the BJ 7000-52E. Next to that is his multi-tool of choice, the Gerber Center Drive, and then he also has an Urban Survival Gear TiScribe-Mini in titanium. Underneath that is a leather Canadian pilot's license holder and an MSA Gallet LH250 flight helmet. In the back of the photo is an iPad Pro 11-inch with a smart keyboard folio, which he said is running for flight. A lot to unpack there. Jonathan says, I'm looking for a crane worry stone in titanium or exotic steel to add to my carry. Lots of worry stones, dominoes, little fidget things that aren't spinners are just blowing up right now. I'm seeing lots and lots of stuff like that. He says, I have been a helicopter pilot for the past 5 years, working in many different environments and climates. After playing around with different combinations of items in my day-to-day and work life, I finally found what works for me. The Medford has been my pilot knife for years now, able to do any task I need it for. The Mech Torch is a new purchase this year, but I couldn't resist the titanium finish and the strength of this flashlight. I purchased the Nighthawk at the beginning of flight school and have carried it ever since. Being able to set both local and Zulu time zones have been extremely helpful in my field. I took a chance with the Gerber center drive while on tour and haven't looked back since. The one-hand operation is extremely useful while I'm working around the helicopter. The TiScribe-Mini is the perfect size and fits snugly into my pilot license cover. I don't carry my wallet while flying. Instead, I carry my pilot's license and a small notepad in the cover to record start and shutdown times. Really cool, and again, probably the most unique submission I've ever seen, just based on what your job is. I think that's a really, really neat job. I think it'd be really fun to be a helicopter pilot. I love this gear too. I've been looking at the mech torches. They pop up pretty frequently in the classifieds over in the Discord, and I've almost pulled the trigger on so many of them. I love when they have all the full trits in them. They look so cool. They also kind of have this golf ball divot milling in them, which is really neat. It reminds me a lot of the mini Griptilian that I had back a few months ago. But the biggest question I have here is, how do you carry the center drive? Do you have that leather belt holster that it comes with? Or I don't even know if it comes with it. I know Gerber sent me one and it had a belt holster, but I don't know if it comes with it. But how do you carry the Gerber? That's the biggest question. Anyway, thank you for sharing, Jonathan. The next submission comes from Jake Ryan. You can find him over on Instagram at JacobRyan06. And I want everybody here to thank Jake for having one of the most important jobs for everyday carry, and that is a USPS mail carrier. If it weren't for him and many people like him, we would not get our constant delivery. So thank you, Jake, and every other USPS mail carrier for just making all of this possible, because yeah, we tend to get a lot of packages. Not just me. I know it's not just me, because I see all the new knife days in my Discord server every day. First up in this photo, there is a pair of Ray-Bans in the left that are folding Ray-Bans. Those sit on top of his USPS face mask. In the top center of the photo is his key bar, which is a copper version with this cool little rock pattern almost, with a Grego key bar knife inside. And below that is some chapstick in a copper sleeve, which has been Cerakoted. He also has a Streamlight Micro Stream, and the watch in the bottom of the photo is a G-Shock GB400MB. On that is a Mech Army watch band flashlight, and probably my favorite thing in this whole carry, a 3D printed Fitbit holder. And then in the far right of the photo is his earbuds. Those are Samsung wireless headphones. And Jake says, I work for the United States Postal Office. I am a mail carrier with a 12 to 15 mile walking route. 12 to 15 mile walking route. That is something I could stand to use. 12 to 15 miles a day I'd be in great shape. Anybody would be. The glasses are a must-have for being outdoors all day. The mask underneath it for businesses that require me to wear it before I enter the key bar, and the knife is abused daily to cut plastic straps off bundles of mail, magazines, and them stupid bundled ads we all hate to get in our mailboxes. Side note, the mailmen hate delivering them ads just as much as you hate getting them. It's good to know, because I really hate it. Chapstick in the sleeve so I won't get crushed and is needed for cold, windy days. The two flashlights, Streamlight and the Watchman light, are for daylight savings, being caught out after dark sometimes and need to see the mail. Streamlight clipped on hat and the Watchman light, perfect for sorting the mail while walking. Fitbit holder on the Watchman just because I like to track steps. Average just at work 29,000 steps. Jesus. The watch to just remind me how much longer I have until I get home. Last but not least, Samsung headphones to make it through the day. Music for days I need to speed up, and podcasts like Whiskey Knife Fight and others for the days it's not so busy and I can pace myself. Well, glad I can provide you with some entertainment for your ears. Sorry you have to listen to Jeremy. Just gonna throw it out there. Sorry you have to listen to Jeremy. Thank you for listening, by the way. But yeah, that's really cool. I have not seen anybody since I made that Mech Army video have one of these flashlights on their watch band. I thought it was a little silly because my hand always ended up blocking the light, but if that works for you, that's actually really, really neat to see something that is so purpose-driven and works perfectly for your needs. But like I said, the most interesting thing in this photo is that 3D printed Fitbit holder, because I've wanted a fitness tracker, but I hate the idea of having a real watch, like my favorite watch, on my wrist, and then having a fitness tracker on the other, or an Apple Watch or something. I never even thought it would be possible to have something like that, just a tiny little thing 3D printed and just inconspicuously clipped somewhere. That's brilliant, and now I am actually genuinely gonna get a Fitbit and print something for it, because I just got a 3D printer yesterday, and I've been printing like a madman. In fact, where is it? Hang on, let me show you. This 3D printer got here yesterday at like 9 p.m. or well, I picked it up from my house at 9 p.m. and I've already printed like 3 or 4 things. This, I need to finish sanding it and get it finished up, but this is an SD card holder, so I can hold all my SD cards. This thing is really cool. Took all day to print this, like 6 hours. And a utility knife, which I was just tinkering around with. This is the first thing I printed other than a sample that came on the internal storage on the 3D printer. So this is just a open source utility knife that you can 3D print, and it's actually rock solid. I broke down some boxes with this today. Really cool idea. Love the 3D printer, and I'm 100% doing that with a Fitbit. I don't know what I'll put it on because most of the watches I wear have bracelets and it wouldn't look good. So maybe I'll make just a little inconspicuous bracelet and put a Fitbit tracker on that. Really cool. Thank you for the idea. I seriously had never thought of that. It's brilliant. And if you couldn't tell, I am absolutely crushing over 3D printing. I bought it just for some videos. I want to make content around it, not 3D printing itself, but it is a big part of what I'm doing with the channel moving forward. And man, I knew that I shouldn't get a 3D printer because when I get into a new hobby, I dive in head first and I get in way too deep really fast, and it's already happening. The only reason I'm not printing something right now is because it would sound like a phone buzzing in the background. Otherwise, I'd be printing something else. It's a sickness. Next up, we have a submission from Phil, or Ruthless EDC, over on Instagram. And first up in this photo in the far right, we have the Spyderco Para 3 in Rex 45 with Fireside Company scales. And beneath that, he has a Failsafe Goods wallet as well as a Failsafe Goods coin slip with a Carry the Skull doubloon inside. To the left of the photo are his pliers. Those are Knipex pliers. And then next to that is a Lynch Northwest All Access Pass 2.5. And then on the wrist, he has a Casio Royale. And then he says he also has a Rugged Elite bullet casing, but I don't see it anywhere. Am I blind? I've looked for it. I see a bead, and it looks like a little nuke bead from Zero Feud attached to the wallet, but I don't see a bullet casing. Phil says, I am an HVAC tech. I use these tools on a daily basis. The knife changes most daily, but everything is usually in my pocket on a normal Monday to Friday. I use the knife for opening boxes of parts, the pry for taking panels off units, and the pliers to help take the pesky caps off the gauge ports. The doubloon was earned from being nominated in a giveaway. The bullet casing is a small group of EDC types, or basically the type of people who you'd go to in a shit hits the fan type situation. Huge fan of those Cobra pliers from Knipex. Apparently I was pronouncing it wrong. I said Knipex, and a lot of people got their panties in a wad over it, but whatever. You all knew what I was talking about. Anyway, they're cool pliers. I have a pair, and yeah, I want to get some more. I'll probably have a lot of them. Anyway, thank you for sharing, Phil. And the very last submission this week comes from Yannic, I guess that's how it's pronounced, or you can find him as Oshi Boshi, over in the Discord server, or avo_ID. on Instagram. First up in this photo in the top left is his knife. That is the Chris Reeve Mnandi Rosewood, as well as a Hanky Pank glow in the dark handkerchief. That's brilliant. There's also a Loyal Strickland wallet, and on top of that is a brass Zippo. In the center of the photo is his watch. That is a Glycine Combat Sub Goldeneye with a leather strap. He also has a Pirate Goods First Mate Mini Organizer, and inside that is a Pete's Pirate Life brass pin, or a Pocket Pro from Big Idea Design, a Prometheus Beta QRV2 in brass, and a Brassworks Cadet, also in brass. In the bottom right of the photo is a Jeremy Real Quick Sire's man card of manliness. And Yannic asks, what diving watch would match this carry? I would have to say some bronze watch. You've got, is it Helios? No, it's not them. Who makes a bronze? It starts with an H. I cannot remember who makes it. I know that Zelos makes a bronze watch. There are a few companies that do bronze watches, but I think the GoldenEye goes perfectly fine with it. It looks great. I would recommend sticking with that. I think that's a good watch. He says, hey Taylor, love your videos. I'm 25 and a social worker from Germany. I work with people with benefits and I love my work. I literally got the Mnandi today, so I can't say anything about it, just that it's awesome. The Hank never leaves my left back pocket. I use it every day on phone and tablet. The wallet from Loyal Strickland is just pure perfection. It patinas very well. The Zippo was with a copper layer when I bought it, but I wanted a brass one, so I removed the copper layer and I'm very satisfied with the result. The GoldenEye is on my wrist every day and it adds to my carry. I love the thin profile and the minimalist look. It is a looker without being over the top. In the organizer is my flashlight, mostly used to search for my cat's toys under the couch. The Swiss Army knife is the tool that saves me the most of the time. As people with benefits can be quite aggressive. I'm fixing doors and door handles, windows and drawer handles, and it always has the right tools to do so. The Pete's Parrot Life pen is probably my favorite thing. I use it constantly for writing things down about my clients. Lastly, just to be remembered that I am in fact a man, Jeremy's card is every day in my pocket since I got it. It patina's great, and it's just a stress relief when I need to hold something in the hands in meetings. Thank you for your awesome videos. And one more thing, this is the way. I think it's hilarious that you have to carry a man card to remember that you're a man. Never had a problem remembering that I'm a man, but I can understand maybe why some might forget that they're a man. But also, that thing is patina beautifully. I mean, just look at that thing. That looks awesome. But you are also a boss. Jokes aside, you're a boss for carrying that thing, because that thing weighs almost half a pound on its own. It's a very heavy chunk of brass, and the fact that you carry this with you is impressive, amazing, and hats off to you. But also, this is not the way. I'm sorry, I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I'm not in love with The Mandalorian. I'm just not. I think it's fine, but I think it's a little overrated. We can have different opinions on things. If we all like the same stuff all the time, this world would be very, very boring. Anyway, this is really a truly awesome carry, and that Crisp Reeve is a beautiful knife. That is probably, of all the knives I've come across in the time that I've been running this channel, that is probably the most gentlemanly folder, period. I think the Omnandi it's a beautiful knife, but I think it is extremely classy. Just as classy as it gets. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being an active member of the Discord community. And thank you all for sharing. If you did not get featured in this video, I'm sorry. There's just a lot of people that get featured all the time. And I'm trying to come up with ways to utilize more of those submissions, because there are so many and I want to get to everybody, but I'm just one guy and I'm at my wit's end right now. So just bear with me. I'm working on a lot of stuff. You guys are gonna love it. I know you are. I'm very excited to share it with you, but for now, just asking for a little patience, a little more time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, hit that thumbs up button down below. If you like The Mandalorian and you think I'm wrong, it's okay, hit the down vote, I don't care. Hit something, one of them, like or dislike. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you're notified when I upload new videos. If you want to support what I'm doing here, everything I talked about in this video will be linked down below. There's also Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/bestdamnedc, or carrycommission.com or carry.best. That's where you can buy gear and merch directly from me. I have a new merch coming very, very soon. I've got gear drops right around the corner. Everything is about to be working like a well-oiled machine, but for now, we're just trying that starter fluid right now. We're just getting started. We haven't turned the key yet. We're getting there. So thank you guys again. Be sure to follow around the web. Find us in most places at Best Damn EDC, and until next time, carry on.